Right now, you're unhappy with where you're at. You're unhappy with your life. You're unhappy with who you are. When you wake up, you're not motivated. You wish that there was a way out. And if you could go back in time, you'd go back to the time where you would wake up feeling excited about life, excited to go on walks in the morning, excited to go to work, to see people that you love and enjoy. But yet, right now, you're stuck. And you can't figure out why. You don't know how to get out of this rut and you just want to reset your life. Well, in this video, we're going to be talking about how to exactly do that and change your life and reset your life in just 7 days.
Number one is creating a list of all my scariest fears and then overcoming them. Doing everything I can to make those fears something that are now no longer an insecurity. So embracing my fears by going all in on those fears.
Want to change your life? You need 5 solid hobbies. You need 1 hobby to make you money. You need 1 hobby to keep you healthy and in shape. You need 1 hobby that is a creative outlet for you in some way. You need 1 hobby to build your knowledge, your intellect, and improve your intelligence. And you need 1 hobby to improve your mindset and your own psychology.
What is your life trying to tell you? If you really sit with that question, you'll notice that your life is trying to nudge you in a certain direction. There's something you can't stop thinking about. There's some sort of sign that keeps showing up. There's something that you've wanted to do, but you haven't done it.
Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy that you're here. My name is Carissa, and if you're new here, this is the Queen community. And if you aren't subscribed yet, what are you doing? What are you doing?
No, seriously, what are you doing?
Go subscribe right now.
On this channel, we talk about all things feminine energy, fitness, and just becoming the best version of yourself and creating a life that you love, creating a body that you love, and stepping into your highest self through your feminine energy. And if that sounds like something that would help you, something that you really just want,
Make sure you subscribe and become part of the Queen community.
Now, as always, class, the first thing I want you to do is get your notebook, because without taking notes on this, how are you going to implement it into your life? I want you to take notes on this because not only is it important to see how you can apply this to your life, it's so important that you do a brain dump through this video. And I'm going to explain how we're going to do that. The first thing that you need to understand is that your brain is like a supercomputer. Our minds are wired to learn. Everything that we think, everything that we consume is something that our brain is obtaining and learning. Everything that we are feeding our minds shapes our identity and shapes our beliefs. You listening to me right now is shaping your belief in some certain way or form. With all my other videos, I talk about motivation, I talk about fitness, I talk about becoming the best version of yourself, and therefore you listening to my videos is training your mind to have a similar mindset, to be more attuned to those things. Whereas somebody that listens to something like sad music, when you're constantly listening to negative news, those things, you're training your mind to be focused on bad things. You're focused on being negative. You're focused on all of these things that are not adding to your life. They're actually taking away from your quality of life and making you feel more negative. Your brain, your conscious mind, can process 10 to 50 bits of information per second, but your unconscious mind, your subconscious mind, can process up to 11 million bits of information per second. So it is so important that what you are feeding your mind is going to help you, is going to train you and train your mind for the life that you are wanting to create. Now, if you click this video, you already have something in mind that you want to create in your life. I know that you have something in mind that you want to create for your life, or else you would not be here. So the fact of the matter is, we need to get down to why you are feeling this way, why you are not living the life that you are wanting to live, and what's keeping you from that. Because the reality of it is, everyone has the answers within themselves. You have the answer, you have the reason why, you have what is stopping you, but you might not be self-aware enough yet to understand what it is. I am all about wanting to create more self-awareness, to become more aware of your goals, your dreams, your desires, because without that self-awareness, we cannot really create the life that you want. We can't create a version of ourselves that we want because we're not conscious enough yet to understand what that even looks like. Being that your mind is a supercomputer absorbing and calculating information all of the time, every second of the day, you need to be programming your mind, like the computer that it is, with the information that will help you create the life that you want, not confirm limiting beliefs that you want to have. Because the reality of it is that so many people want to hold on to their limiting beliefs because it is safe, it is comfortable, it is familiar, and therefore they're stuck. I'm not going to tell you that your limiting beliefs are okay, because if you're unhappy with your life, you're only there because of the current limiting beliefs that you have. Everyone has a limiting belief. You are only where you are because of the limiting beliefs that you currently possess. So identify what content you are consuming that is creating these limiting beliefs for you. Is it the Instagram feed that you have? Are you creating comparison within your life to somebody else's? Are you listening to negative things, negative feed, negative news? Do you have negative influences around your life? Are you having friends that are not helping you level up, but they are taking away from your life? They're taking from you. Are you surrounding yourself with people you want to be like, or people you feel like you have to hold their hand? You have 6 months left in the year, and the next 6 months of your life, you want to be a game changer. You came to this video because you want to change in your life, so I don't want you to leave this video and not do anything. Changing your life starts with a choice. You have to make that choice because no one else is going to make it for you. No one else is going to make the decision that you need to level up your appearance. Nobody's going to make the decision for you that you need to level up your job, your career, your education, your fitness, your health. No one is going to come and do that for you. So stop making excuses that confirm your comfortable limiting beliefs and start stepping into a new identity. You cannot change the current present moment by doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, expecting a new life, expecting for new people to come into your life, expecting that you're just going to see this change that's going to happen, but you're not doing anything about it. You're not investing in yourself. You're not investing in the life that you want. You just think it's going to come out of thin air, and if you just keep going doing the same thing that kept you stuck, that kept you behind, that kept you with the same friends, that kept you in the same toxic relationship, that kept you at the same toxic job, the same job that's not paying you enough to even get by, you think that staying in that same position just by keep doing that over and over again, living a life that you're not proud of, living a life that you don't like, is going to get you to where you want to be? I'm sorry, but no, it's not. You have to make a change. You have to decide. And I can't decide that for you. No one around you can decide that for you. People can influence you and people can try to help you, but at the end of the day, you have free will. You have the choice to make that decision for yourself. Remember that with your brain being that supercomputer, you need to start feeding your mind 3 different things daily. You need to be watching what you are eating, because what you're eating is going to impact how you're thinking, how you're feeling, your motivation, your hormones. And as a woman, it is so important that we pay attention to our hormones because they impact so much of how we feel, the way that we even think, which is why it's so important that you are paying attention to your hormones through the things that you are putting in your body. The media does not want us to know these things. The media does not want us to know how to heal our bodies, and it's so sad because no one is taught this, because the only thing that women are given to interact with any hormonal imbalance is birth control. We need to maximize the enjoyment that we are feeling in our life by creating things that are going to keep us stimulated in a positive way. And being and creating stimulation through fake sources of dopamine, like watching TV, scrolling on your phone, constantly looking at screens and lights, is going to be fake dopamine that dims your ability to feel true happiness without that stimulation. Remember that every second of the day you are training your mind, you're training your brain. You need to watch how you're training your brain. We want to maximize the time that our brain is most susceptible to these things. So for example, waking up in the morning, the first 2 hours of your morning are going to determine the rest of your day. How are you spending the first 2 hours of your morning? If you are spending the first 2 hours of your morning stimulating your brain in a negative way through scrolling, this is a habit that needs to be broken, because this is exactly why you cannot feel true happiness and joy, because the first thing that you're doing in the morning is scrolling, comparing your life to somebody else's, and this is causing so much stress to your brain. The thing about our phones is when we're looking at our phones, we can't see it with our eyes. Our brain picks up on it. There's a flickering light, like strobe lights coming out at your brain that your brain is sensing, but our eyes cannot see. And that's why every time you record a video of somebody else's phone, when it's on recording another video on somebody else's phone, you see on the video that there's blinking lights on the phone. Your brain picks up on that and it stresses your brain out, which is why people that scroll before going to sleep are less likely to have good sleep and wake up the next morning feeling drained. So how are you spending the first 2 hours of your day? Are you scrolling? Are you comparing your life to somebody else's? Are you waking up feeling grateful for where you are at? Or are you waking up feeling like, oh man, I have to do this now, I have to go to work? Are you excited about the day or are you dreading it? You need to create the reality that you want. You need to identify and think about what is it in life that you are wanting and what are the steps and the goals that you need to set in order to reach it. Goals are not the answer, and goals do not automatically solve every problem. We don't write goals so we can achieve them. We write goals to gain clarity on what it is that you are wanting in your life. Gain clarity on what it is that you need to be doing and what steps you need to be taking in order to reach the goals that you want. If you know you want to be healthier, feeding your body with more things that are going to make you feel better and not resorting to things that are going to make you feel worse is something that can be helpful to that goal. Having somebody that can help you as an accountability partner is something that can help you with that goal. Waking up and practicing gratitude for where you are at is so important and can really help you start to make a change in your life. Because we cannot add more or add more value to our life if we're constantly being a nagging person and comparing our lives to others and wishing that we had more. Imagine that there are two children, one child gets a present and the other child gets the same present. Imagine that child number one gets a toy car and it's not the car that he wanted, he didn't like it, he doesn't like the color, and another kid comes along asking if he can play with the toy. He plays with it and does not want the other kid to play with his toy. He does not want to share, he's not grateful for the toy, but he doesn't want to share it either because this is the only toy that he got. Now imagine kid two getting that same car, that same toy, somebody asking him to play with the toy and he gives it and he's grateful for the toy. He is thankful that he has the toy and he wants to be able to share it with somebody else. Now, if you were a parent or if you were somebody that gave him the toy, which one would you want to give that toy to again? Which one would you want to give more to? Obviously, this kid, because they're grateful, they're sharing, you see that they are being a good steward with what they are given. This other one is a spoiled, rotten child. Nobody wants to give to a spoiled, rotten child. So if you think about it like that, why would you be attracting or receiving more if you have this mentality with everything in your life? Why would you receive more if you are not willing to give what you are given? If you are not grateful for what you already have, and every time something comes into your life, you're saying things like, oh man, this is not what I wanted, oh, this is just enough to get by. Why would more come into your life? How are you attracting more abundance into your life? How are you creating abundance in your life by not having that gratefulness already? So now some of the actionable steps that I want you to take, I want you to journal out how you currently feel about your life. What is it that you are feeling about where you are at? What is it that is making you feel so unhappy with where you are? And then I want you to write an arrow connecting to how you can change this one thing. I want you to do that 5 times with 5 things that are making you feel unhappy, 5 things that you want to change in your life, and 5 things that you can start to do to change that. And for the next 5 days, I want you to do that solution to start to change that. Now underneath it, I want you to write 5 limiting beliefs that are keeping you from reaching those goals. And those 5 limiting beliefs, I want you to really think about how they are impacting your progress. And then connected to that with arrows, I want you to write how you can overcome these limiting beliefs. This is so important, and I really need you to write this out because this is going to solve so many of your problems, so many of the things that are keeping you stuck, so many beliefs that are keeping you stuck and away from your dream life. You need to get very clear on what it is that you want, because having vague goals, having vague ideas of what we want our life to be is not going to help us get to the life that we want. So you need to be very clear and precise on where exactly it is that you want to go and why. The next thing that I want you to write, either on the next page or lower on the page, is things that you can prioritize, remove, and restructure in your days to create the life that you want. Just for the next 7 days, what are 2 things that you can prioritize each day? Just 2 things that you know that you can prioritize each day to start creating a life of abundance and a life that you want. Maybe that is focusing on journaling more gratitude. Maybe that is meditating and doing more gratitude meditations. Maybe that's listening to affirmations to reprogram your mind, because like I said, your mind is a computer. Your mind absorbs information and processes it every single second of the day. So make sure that you're programming your mind with positive things. Maybe that's listening to a podcast to educate you on things that you want to learn about, things that are going to help you level up. What are some things that you can remove from your day that are creating this life of unhappiness? Maybe it is mindlessly scrolling. Maybe it's sitting around and doing nothing, but deep down you know that you want to be doing something else, like hanging out with a friend or creating more relationships, meeting new people, looking for new jobs. There are so many things that you could replace with this empty space in our day that is going to really change so much. And if you change this just for a week, you can see next week just how different your life can be. Now that we have goals, we have awareness, and we have direction, and now that we have the awareness of why our goals are not being reached and why we haven't been able to reach them yet, we can then start to identify what habits are needed in order to create this dream life, create a new version of ourselves, create more abundance in our life. And if you are interested in watching my other videos on this, I have so many on just creating a new version of yourself, creating a new life, creating abundance, and how to have an interesting life. So if that's something that you're interested in, make sure you check out the channel, subscribe of course. But I want you to write out 4 habits that you believe, and this is completely independent of what I think. This is completely independent of what somebody else thinks. Write 4 habits that you believe are a cornerstone to a happy and fulfilling life. What 4 habits could you implement that you would want to implement that you think and believe would improve your life? For me, I know that going on walks is something that improves my life. I end up meeting new people, I get sun, and that is something that brightens up my life. Another habit that helps my life, helps my goals, my dreams, and helps me to stay on track is journaling. You guys know, if you know me, I am a huge believer in journaling. And if you attended one of my last master classes, you know that I was talking about journaling and gave you prompts, and I talked about how you can start to really change your life through journaling with a purpose and intention. I truly believe that it is life-changing. Another habit for me is having a healthy breakfast. Starting the day off with something healthy that is going to fuel my body helps me the rest of the day take care of my body and feel good about myself, feel high energy, feel confident in the rest of my decisions for the day, knowing that the first decision I made was something that was helping my body. And the last habit I believe really helped my life and is continuing to help me get to where I want to be in my life is prayer. Through writing, prayer at night, prayer in the morning, praying to God and asking for direction, asking to stay within His will for my life, and knowing that He provides everything that I have. This has completely changed my life, because once I stopped trying to do everything that I thought was the best thing for me and really was actually hurting me and I did not see it, and I started to walk in the will that He has for me, that's when I started to see so much change. I saw my relationship change, I saw my family change, I saw my finances change, I saw everything change just because I was walking in what He wanted for me, not what I thought I wanted for myself at the time. And you don't have to agree with me. I'm not here to appease everybody. I'm here to tell my truth about how my life has changed and just share how my life has changed with you, hoping that you can change your life from my own experiences. So now that you have those 4 habits that you believe will change your life and can really help you create a life that you want, I want you to write out how. Think about how those habits would change your life. How would waking up earlier help change your life? How would going to sleep earlier change your life? And those are just 2 examples, but think about how the habits you wrote down will help change your life. Now, the last thing that we're going to do is create a week-long plan. You have 7 days to truly change your life. Right now is a pivotal moment for you to finally change your life, get rid of and eliminate limiting beliefs or excuses that are keeping you stuck, and finally create a life that you love. 6 months is such a long time. Look back to the beginning of the year and the goals that you set. Have you even reached any of those goals? If you have, that's amazing. But we always have goals that are changing. Our goals are ever changing, and doing a check-in is so important. Getting very clear on how you want the last 6 months of your life to be is so crucial. So the next 7 days, write out 3 things each day on top of the 2 things that you are going to do to create a plan that is going to help change your life in a positive way, just for the next 7 days. What is it that will truly change your life? What is it that is keeping you stuck? What is it that you can change? And what habits are you going to implement to create this life that you really want? I want you to write out your morning routine, your focused work routine, your other tasks, your meetings, and your night routine, and how this is going to look and how this will fit into your life. I truly hope that this video helped you guys.